Hello everyone, welcome back to Momma Jo's Kitchen. How's everybody doing? Hey, Christmas is fastly approaching. I've been saying that every day, and every day we're one day closer. And I still, have plenty of recipes that I'd like to present to you all and make for you all. I don't know how many we can get done before Christmas. Today we're going to make rum cake. And yes, I'm not using rum extract, I'm using actual rum. We picked up Captain Morgan spiced rum. You're going to need about a half a cup for your cake. And then when you make a glaze, you'll use about a tablespoon just to give it that little extra rum to go on the cake part. Now, this can be made in just like a regular round cake pan. But since I'm going to be making this for Christmas, I'm going to try it. I'll bring it over and show you. I have one of these 2 pans. It's not going to fill this all the way up, but I like the shape of this, and it's silicone. This is silicone. And I sprayed it really well with that that spray that has the Baker's Joy, that's what it's called, that has the spray and the flour in it. And I'm putting it on this pizza pan to give it some support while it's baking. So, and I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. Now, I'm using cake flour. You can use all-purpose flour in this, but if you're going to use all-purpose flour, I would only do 2 cups maybe, sift it. I'm using cake flour. Cake flour is finer, and what I did is I measured it out into a dry measure, 2 1/4 of a cup, and I put it in my sifter, as you can see here, and I sifted it to get all the lumps out of it. And we got a few things to add to our dry ingredients. I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of salt. And here I have baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And then I'm going to use a teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, that's our dry ingredients. Let me see, look for my whisk. And I'm just going to whisk these dry ingredients together. And then we're just going to set this aside while we get the other ingredients ready. And then what I plan on doing is after my cake comes out and it cools and I invert it onto a plate, I'm going to make the glaze, and I'm going to put the glaze over it, and I'm going to let the glaze kind of set up a little bit. Then I'm going to slice mine all up and maybe put it like on a platter so that everybody can just reach over and just grab a piece. And I'm probably going to wrap mine and put mine in the freezer and take it out like that morning or the day before. Okay. You're going to need 2 eggs. And the last week, I think it was last week or maybe it was the week before, you may have seen the video where I made spiced orange pecans. And it called for 2 egg whites. So I had 2 egg yolks left. And, I try not to waste anything. Don't throw anything away. So I saved mine and I had it in the freezer. And I figure for this recipe is a good way to use up that the egg yolks is just going to make the cake, even more richer, in my opinion. So I'm going to put that in there. And I'm going to get a fork here. I think that egg yolk was still kind of a little frozen. I had my eggs setting out for a little while. So I'm just beating them up a little bit here. Yes, those egg yolks were still a little bit frozen. My oven just beeped, so it's ready. Okay, you're going to need a stick and a half. So that would be, let's see, 8, that would be 9, 10, 11, 12. I guess that would be 12 tablespoons of butter. And I did stick it in the microwave. It's a little more melted than I wanted it to be. But I think it'll be okay. And I'm going to put in, let's see what we got here. I think it's a half a cup of brown sugar. And you could do this in the mixer. You'll see a lot of times if I can do something without getting the mixer out, I will do that instead. Sometimes, you know, when you need a little extra muscle power, that's when I usually break out the mixer. So essentially this is just incorporating, creaming your butter and sugar together. Okay, you're going to need a half a cup of honey. I did spray my cup ahead of time to make it a little easier for the honey to come out. I mean, it helps. It doesn't get, you know, all of it out, but it's close. Actually going to take my whisk in here because I want to be able to make sure I'm breaking up those, sometimes in your brown sugar you get little hard clumps. Okay, the eggs are going to go in, and that's another thing. I need to break up the egg yolk a little bit better. And of course, doing that in the mixer will do that for you too. Probably should have put a towel under here. Got my dish rag here. Alright, just whisking, breaking everything up, getting everything smooth. Now you could put a little extract in here if you wanted to, a teaspoon or something, but I've got that spiced rum, and usually it already has like a vanilla tone to it anyways. I think we'll be fine without it. Now, you know how I said you'll need 12 tablespoons? You're actually going to need a total, but it's divided. You'll actually need 2 sticks of butter, but you're going to cut the one in half. So you have 12, and then you'll have 4 left over. And this is the last, when we melt it with the confectioner sugar and a little bit of rum for the glaze. But in this part, you only need 1 1/2, which is 12 tablespoons. And now we have a half a cup of spiced rum going in. Excuse me. Okay, I can tell I need a bigger bowl. Let me grab one. Now we're going to mix the wet and the dry together. See, I use this bowl to soften my butter slightly. I think I'm starting to slowly get my voice back a little bit. I think I'm starting to sound a little bit more like myself. I still got a cough. I have no idea what in the world is going on. But I've had this stuff for well over a month. But the nurse practitioner that I saw last seems to think that it's it's allergies and acid reflux. Acid reflux is what's affecting my voice, she says. So we shall see. All right, now here's our dry ingredients going in. All right, I'm going to start off with the whisk, and I may have to switch over to something else. Have you ever had rum cake? And do you like rum cake if you have tried it? It looks just like a normal cake batter. I'm just, I'm not going to beat it to death. As long as you got all the ingredients, it looks smooth, and as long as you got all the dry ingredients incorporated here. I know a lot of people hate that I tap, but I'm trying to get the batter off of the whisk. We want as much of that in the cake as possible. Okay. I want y'all to see how pretty that batter is, if you can see it. Should have gotten my bigger spatula. Let me grab that. There's the right one for the job, I think. Now I'm going to just try to spread this around. Just going to let it pour, and then I'll scrape. I don't know if you all can hear them in the background, but the grandsons are in there. I'm videoing. Sorry about that, folks. They know I'm in here videoing, but that's the way it works sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna use this other spatula. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm kind of just going to jiggle it because I want this batter to be even, if at all possible. Just kind of jiggling it. You can do that with silicone, and it should even itself out. Okay, like I said, the batter only comes to about right here. It'll rise a little bit, but it's not going to, I don't think it's going to fill this whole thing up. And I knew that it wouldn't. All right, this is going in 350 for 30 minutes. I'm going to check it at 30 minutes. And you'll know it's done if you take a toothpick to it. It might take a little longer. It depends on your oven. So I'm going to bring you guys back and, you know, show you what it looks like, and hopefully cools a little bit. I'll be able to invert it without tearing, I'm hoping. And we'll go from there and make the icing and put the icing over it and let it set up a little bit, and then I'll slice it. And I'll be sure to save one slice for Michael to try for you all. Okay, we'll be back.
How you doing, YouTube? Been smelling this since I walked in the house from work today. Spiced rum cake. Let's go. Moist. Might have just got a new favorite. That's freaking good. You can taste the rum, vanilla. The icing is, I mean, amazing. It's got like a crispiness to it, but a sweetness that's unexplainable. 2 thumbs up. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Is this going to be worth having a sugar about 400 tonight? Most definitely. Thank you and good night.